if you start to procrastinate, those tasks will start to pile up and pile up and pile up, and at to the point that you will feel so tired and so piga na. Tapos magreklamo kayo na sabi nyo, lahat binibigay, grabe, walang pakialam yung mga prof sa inyo sa mental health. Minsan kasi, not everyone not every prof mabait, pero there are, tayo mismo yung responsible for that.
Yeah.
We procrastinate so much that we get to pile up our task and tayo mo. That's on us. We need to be responsible of that. Kasi ako, personally, minsan na-feel ko yun. Kaya right now, I'm trying to, to like, do every task that's given up ahead of time. Kasi yun nga, diba? It's better to be early than to be late. Yun.
Hello to everyone all over the world. Magkakasama na naman tayo sa panibagong kwentuhan this Saturday evening here at the Ganito Kasi Yan Pod, a podcast where we talk about anything and everything under the sun. With me, your host, Jacob Maquiling. And for this week, may bago naman tayo makakasama. So for this week, we will be joined by a classmate of mine in some subjects during the first term. Let us all welcome Barron Ong. Hello, Barron.
Hi, Jacob. Hi, guys. So, yeah, I'm Barron Ong, and I'm from 120. I'm currently taking up OCM and advertising management. So, yeah, I'm just a student just like you guys, no. So, yeah.
Yeah, so how's naman? Kasi di ba natapos na tayo sa first term natin?
Yeah.
Last, kailan ba yun? February? Grabe, no?
February. Yeah.
Oo, ang tagal na. Parang it seems like it was yesterday lang. Yung the stress of the finals and all that. Kamusta naman? Kamusta yung first term for you?
First term for me was actually kind of parang adjusting stage, no? So, it was kind of okay naman. Nahirapan sa enlistment, pero for term 2 pa pala yan. So, for term 1 naman, it was kind of a rocky road for if I may say, pero kinaya naman natin, diba? Diba, Jacob? Kinaya.
Saktong kinaya lang. Na-push naman on the last
So,
hurdle.
yeah. Actually, I never thought of having an online like college life. Kasi I remember back in I believe June or July ata, we received an email, no? We would want to enroll for term 3. My friends and I were like, wag na mag term 3 kasi ba't tayo mag-online class? Pag term 1 naman, for sure wala ng COVID yan. So,
OMG, yeah.
Yung college life. Pero yun pala, oh my God. Wala pa rin. So, here we are, term 2, 2021, and we still have a rising number of COVID. Just like kahapon, diba, Jacob?
Yeah, oo.
15,000 new cases per day. So, yun. Yeah, so basically, term 1 was kind of a rocky road, pero as I said kanina, kinaya naman. Yeah.
Yes, true. Parang ang hirap din nung term 1 natin kasi parang we were still navigating through it. Ang dami nating mga new experiences. And we haven't really experienced online before, di ba? Kasi were you able to experience online during senior high ba? During your
Actually,
last few months?
Sa senior high kasi, before yung last few months pa, we were already having like quote-unquote asynchronous classes, if I say. Pero it's just only a few hand-picked topics sa subjects talaga. So it was, I couldn't really say that it was online classes kasi hindi naman siya parang may session, recorded session or such. It's just that parang online assignments siya na sa parang learning management system rin namin. Pero yeah, other part of of lalo na yung early 2020s na nag-start na mag-rise yung number of COVID cases. So yeah, we were able to pero yung same rin doon, yung classes naman, it wasn't like recorded classes. It was just modules na may deadline kami, may due date kami, PowerPoint, and we're just gonna answer them. This year was very, very different talaga. I mean, this school year was very, very different talaga, no? And if I could say, at least naman tayo lahat nakaka-adjust tayo slowly, pero still not fully adjusted. Yeah.
Yeah. Ako din, I remember nung time ko, nung nag-o-online class. Actually, hindi din kami naka-experience ng online class. Kasi we did all our classes during the first half of the second sem. Tapos the second half was supposed to be the immersion. So immersion lang talaga yung na-cut.
Wait, is this senior high or college na?
Senior high.
Senior high, okay.
Yeah, we weren't able to experience yung immersion sa senior high kasi talaga, syempre kasi yun yung time talaga na nagka-COVID and all.
Yeah.
Pero yeah, we just did everything online. Tapos parang we really didn't think na matatapos yung school year na yon na online din.
Yeah, it was so abrupt, right?
Yeah, parang
Yeah.
kawawa din yung batch natin na graduating nun kasi we weren't able to
Oh my God.
experience a lot of stuff that we were supposed to experience during our senior year. Sayang.
Yung tipong quick share, okay?
Go lang.
Sa high school, hindi ako sobrang seryoso. Hindi ako sobrang mag-aral. Like, chill ako. Like, doing this, puro
Mm-mm.
extracurricular, than just studying day by day, parang ganyan lang.
Mm-mm.
Nung grade 12 ako, kasi sabi, so of course, graduating batch tayo. So,
Oo.
stage, diba? So sabi ko, okay, this is my chance to get honor, right? Right? So,
Mm-mm.
yung first sem namin, I really tried my best. I got some mga awards from specific subjects, pero I wasn't able to get that quota of yung parang at least bronze merit award, no? So yung second sem, I was like full on blast talaga ako. Yung tipong lahat ng friends ko, chill na lang kami. Yung barkada ko, tiyatawa lang ako, sinasabi na, Baron, nag-aaral ka? Sabi ko, oo, ito yung best chance magka-honor. Ano ba? Gusto ko umakit ng stage. So yun nga, diba? So, COVID came.
Mm-mm.
Nalaman ko, nag-honor pala ako. I was so happy, but then I realized, nga pala, wala graduation. So, yun nga, diba, ang sayang ng opportunities. I'm sure it's not just me. I'm sure dami rin dyan na maski yung prata nag-honor, pero
Oo.
iba yung pag-graduating batch ka diba? Iba yung makaka-akit ka ng stage with your parents dahil
Yeah. Mm-mm.
all those efforts, all those years of studying, then it just abruptly stopped just because of COVID. Yeah. It was so
Yeah.
sad for us nga talaga.
Yeah, I agree. Tas parang, actually, buti pa nga kayo nakapag-graduation kayo online. Alam mo ba kami? Hello, sa school pinagalingan ko.
What school ka? Ay, baka ako sabihin.
Hindi pa rin kami nag-graduation hanggang ngayon.
Sabi, sana naman may online, no?
Hindi, I think they're planning for it, pero isasabay na daw kami sa grade 12 batch ngayon. So like, natapos na kami ng first year namin. First year pa lang kami
Yeah.
gagraduate.
It was
God.
actually may same promise sa amin, no? Kasi we were promised, if I'm mistaken sa mga nakakilala dito sa akin, don't quote me on this, right? Pero as far as I can remember kasi, our parents association like promised na we will be able to have our respective graduation. Pero yun na lang daw after COVID. So paano yun? Let's say matapos ang COVID ng let's say 2022, 2023, so mag-graduate tayo na parang third year na, second year, third year, fourth year, parang ganun. So, like, what's the point? I mean, it's so weird. Imagine mo, akit ka ng stage, mag-graduate ka ng senior high school na in a few years, mag-graduate ka ng college. So, it's kind of awkward. Pero, of course, it would still be nice pa rin. Like, we appreciate the effort talaga. It would be nice to still.
Iba pa rin talaga yung mag-graduate ka ng senior high na, na on campus talaga and on stage talaga. Ang hirap kasi, ewan ko, iba talaga yung feeling na mag-graduate ka online.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the effort ng mga schools to push through and pull off that online graduation. Pero yeah, it would have been good if we would have that that face-to-face graduation.
Yeah.
Diba?
Pero as we could, diba, all we could do is also be optimistic and be thankful because no one wanted this pandemic naman diba?
Yeah.
No one wanted it. Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you cope naman with the first term? Especially na parang syempre new environment, college, syempre parang you wouldn't really know a lot of people. Tapos parang new set of people, new set of subjects, new teachers. Parang it's so different, diba, from high school. So parang how did you cope with that?
Okay, so actually quick story. So kasi prior enrolling to De La Salle, I already knew some people because of my outside school orgs, kahalala ng friends ko, acquaintances and such. So I got to somehow naman I got to learn some like yung para yung tinatawag din yung mga parang quick tips and tricks parang ganun. So actually yung mga natutunan ko nung una was like yung mga yung mga forbidden rules like yung hopping in yung sa elevator sa I forgot what building, hindi pa kasi ako sanay. Pero yung 'di ba yung bawal kang pag sa first floor ka, bawal kang sumakay sa second floor or third floor kasi you'll be called out, you will be canceled agad. So ganun. So I got some few tips naman, no. Pero yun nga, since online setting, no, it was kind of a really parang everyone was so new to it eh. So at first, no, it was kind of per se normal since like online setting siya, sa bahay ka lang, gagawa ka na ng modules, attend ka ng classes. So I was able to cope with it naman somehow quite fast. Normal thing lang, like I would wake up earlier than my classes. I would do assignments agad kasi for me kasi like diba na for mention ko sa'yo, Jacob, I treat my ACADS as like parang quote-unquote rest time ko. Weird, no? Weird. So, sobrang weird. Pero kasi, I focus on my self-development and my business and my hobbies. Yun yung pinaka-focus ko in my life right now. I try to build up myself so I could be ready to face the real world after college. So, how I treat my ACADS, maybe for now, so easy to say kasi Frosh ako, di ba? So, puro GE pa lang classes namin, di ba? Baka sabihin dyan, syempre, chill ka pa, GE, wala pa yung majors. So, yeah, for now, as of this moment, I treat my ACADS as parang stress reliever per se of thinking ano yung mga inisip ko for business, how to expand it, how to manage it, ganyan, how to manage my time. So, I was able to cope up with the right mindset lang. I always think na, okay, ACADS to. This is, in real life, mas mahirap magtrabaho, mas mahirap mag-run ng business kaysa mag-aral ng diligently as a responsible student. So, it's all in my mindset. So, I think na parang, yeah, this would be one of the most, at least, besides high school, di ba? Kasi they say, high school is the most fun experience in your life. Pero I still consider college as one of those fun experiences rin. So, yeah, in my mindset, I just think na, okay, this is still quite chill compared to the real world. So I'm gonna enjoy this. I'm gonna do my responsibilities as a student, and yun, yeah, I'm gonna manage my time properly. So that's how I was able to cope up with the college life. Yeah.
Same. Parang ano din kasi, no? Parang yung first term din kasi, parang it's still yung adjusting process. Kaya parang,
Yeah.
actually, honestly, it was kind of chill din naman, no? Yung
Yeah.
first
Yeah. Yeah.
term. Parang wala, hindi pa tayo masyado pagbagsakan ng mga mabibigat and mga heavy loaded courses.
I'm not sure sa iba kasi we had kami sa OCM. We had like 16 units and kasama na doon yung 3 units ni NSTP. So it was a minimum of dojo 15 ata. So it was a minimum of 12 units na ata. Kaya medyo chill pa man yun, right? I'm not sure kung 15 or 16 units kami, I forgot eh. Pero as far as I can remember, yung talagang GE and ano mismo, it was only 12 units. So kind of chill pa nga talaga.
Last term, you got only one major?
Ano ba yung
Or
major? Major ko last term. Ano ba yung major ko? Thinking ba major yun? Thinking ba major yun? Ano, which one?
GE lahat sila.
So,
Lahat
wala
ng-
pa ako ng major. Wala akong major last year. Wala pa ako major. As far as I remember kasi, I got LC Philia. Wait, basta may LC ako. May GEs ako. Multgen, is that a major?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So,
Actually,
one major pa lang.
Actually, lahat ng subjects na magkaklase tayo, GE.
Oh. So yeah, Multgen pa lang. If I'm not sure kung major siya, pero maybe. Pero it was kinda like really fun. So shout out sa teacher ko doon.
Sino?
Ka-Multgen ba kita? O hindi?
Oo.
Wait,
Multgen, Think In, tsaka...
Actually, Multgen was really fun, diba, Jacob? It was very...
Oo.
Lahat kami super nakikinig. Like, normally, diba, when people would think na studying multiculturalism and gender, it was like kind of, parang, why would I need to study this? Pero we learned so much.
Yeah.
Like, nag-widen talaga yung yung paningin ko sa mga things. Kasi back in high school, I was very, very conservative. Alam ng mga tao yan, I was very, very conservative. But because of course, adjusting rin, maturing up, growing up, and lalo sa class like really, nag-widen talaga yung pananaw ko. Yeah, so...
Yeah, it would really expand your thoughts, diba?
Yeah.
And actually, Multgen is still not a major.
It's not a major, okay. So wala pa ako na major nakuha. Wala pa ako major nakuha. Kaya
So
pala
wait,
chill pa.
so wala kayong subject na kayo lang na OCM or advertising?
So far, wala pa. I believe kasi that's still next year ata eh. So, ilan ba kayo sa major?
Kami sa major, alam ko mga nasa 15 to 17, gano'n.
Ano, mas konti lang, no?
Oo, onti lang kami sa course namin. Ayun, medyo chill-chill lang naman.
Buti chill
Yeah,
pa.
oo.
Kasi mamamatay na tayo soon.
Oo.
Ganon.
Yeah. So, how did you handle naman yung mga workload? Especially, ang dami nating group works last term, eh,
Yeah,
'di
ang
ba?
daming papers and group works. Yeah.
Parang wala akong na-feel na individual masyado nating ginawa.
Okay, so how I was able to cope with
Mm,
actually kasi sa block ko, kasi may, di ba,
mm.
may block pa, which ang sad nga, second term wala ng block, nagde-block na
Yeah, oo.
yeah. So going back sa question nga, no, how I was able to cope up with it. Actually kasi sa block namin, no, sa first week pa lang, I was able to become friends with a few people.
Mm,
Like, meron na kami ng small group lang, like tatlo lang kami.
mm.
Kami ng friends ko, we always look out for each other. So mas kung hindi kami magka-group, we have a supporting them, supporting community, parang ganyan. Tapos actually for me talaga, yung pinaka vital for group works is really to communicate properly. Communicate properly sa schedule, sa priorities niya kasi di naman porket diba, ibang classes naman di naman puro blocks lang, right? So
Mm.
we have to respect each other's each
Yeah.
other's priorities kasi hindi man lahat akas priority, iba naman dyan, diba? Yung iba nga working student due to this pandemic, iba naman they might have different priorities. Pero for me, the most vital thing is to properly communicate. So yun nga sa amin, no, how I was able to cope up with group works is that we communicate kaya kami gagawa ng group work. Kaya yung common deadline namin. And we need, of course, to respect each other's deadline. Kasi yun nga, we need to be responsible as students. So how I was able to cope up with it was really proper communication.
Yeah. So I agree dun sa sinabi mo about groupmates na parang we really need to communicate whether you're the leader or you're the member. Kailangan you just tell also you just need to watch out and support each other. Like for example, baka may groupmates ka who needs help or parang they can't do this now kasi they have something else. You really need to communicate whether you if whatever your needs are or whatever you're having struggles with. Kasi syempre, hindi pwede na parang hindi din pwede na they are expecting from you tas you can't deliver
Yeah.
pala because of this. Maybe you could
Yeah.
compromise one way or another.
It's the only fair thing to do talaga. When we have something that ako, I might guilty of this, no? Hindi naman always, pero there are still times and I'm still trying to improve it. Like, ang mahirap kasi ang false promises. Kasi umaasa tayo na okay, sabi ng groupmate natin na he or she will be able, he, she, or they will be able to finish this certain task no by this time. Tapos yun pala, they overpromise, under-delivered. So, hindi lang naman kasi sila yung mag-suffer, yung buong group mag-suffer. So yeah, that's really something ano rin that we should be aware of. Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
yeah, I agree. Tsaka ano 'di ba? Ikaw ba, ask kita, what do you prefer sa mga group works? Do you prefer yung random or do you prefer yung choose your own? Kasi 'di ba parang it's been a
yeah.
ano na parang syempre some teachers nag-a-ask, what do you prefer? Anong gusto niyong gawin natin sa groupings na to? Do you want to choose or do you want to randomize it? Ano bang
Okay, so this would be kind of controversial, no? Kasi there are people that
Yeah.
a lot of people nasa class and there are people naman like medyo shy pa kasi online setting it's really kind of awkward eh, no? It's harder to come to to socialize with people at this online setting. So ako personally it would depend. Situational siya. Like, there are classes na maski wala akong kilala pero kaya ko makipag-socialize. I would prefer personal group. Tapos, meron na naman na, kasi diba, quick share lang. So, why I would prefer sometimes sa personal group, kasi ako maingay ako sa GC. So, minsan magkaka-vibe ka na pag nag-chat ka sa VC, tapos may makausap ka, magkaka-vibe ka, sino yung mga responsible, sino yung may mga medyo chill lang, sino yung mga medyo pabuhat. Joke lang, hindi naman lahat. Pero meron talaga. Pero we would be tackling that pabuhat and like that freeloader topic later, right? So I would minsan kasi we get this vibe diba from a person if he or she or they would be kind of responsible. So it would depend. So sometimes I would prefer na minsan choose your own group, and there would be times na talagang wala akong kilala. And minsan o kaya I would like to meet other people lang. I would sometimes prefer rin naman na random grouping. Yeah.
Yeah, same. Parang it also depends sa situation kasi may times talaga na it really helps na you know the work ethics of the people you work with.
Yeah.
Like for example, nung senior high, kasi 'di ba there's mga practical research, parang
Yeah.
ilang terms tayo
Yeah,
nagkaroon ng practical
progress, mga ganun.
research. And then ako, honestly, from the first term until the last year of senior high, I never shuffled my group. Hindi na
Yeah,
kami
same.
nagwatak-watak kasi
Same.
I really love the work ethics of those people, and then until now sobrang ano ko talaga. So sobrang appreciation talaga for them. Solid appreciation kasi they're really good people, and then alam mo yun din yung maganda eh. Especially for example, pag kunwari paperwork or research, it really
Yeah.
helps na you know the work ethics of the people you work with. 'Di
Actually,
ba?
for me, hindi lang rin siya work ethic. There's
Mm.
something we call parang group work.
Mm.
Hindi, wait, yung term, chemistry yun. Yung
Yeah.
chemistry ng isang group, di ba? Kasi
Oo.
pwede naman lahat ng responsible mag-ipagsama sa isang group, pero pag
Mm.
chemistry, they don't,
Yeah.
lumalabas pa rin talaga yung miscommunication
Yeah.
natin. Actually, going back nga to senior high, no? So, like, if I could think, I've come so far. Kasi I remember back in grade 11, I'm sure mga groupmates ko naalala ko pa to. Hindi naman sa lahat, pero this specific group, yung first research group. Pero I believe this isn't progress pa eh. This is back in I think this was stats pa ata, stats. Kasi may parang papering kami sa stats. That time kasi 'di ba pag kaka-graduate mo na ng grade 10, kasi grade 10 sa amin was parang nakakahiya na, pero medyo patapon kasi graduating na, chill na, lahat chill na, a whole new beginning.
Yeah.
So, nagkaroon pa ako ng parang hangover from that attitude, no. So, nung first few ng grade 11, I was very very passive pa. And yeah, aminado ako, and I feel sorry for my groupmates noon, pero kasi yung sa stats na group na specific stats lang, ibang group I was okay naman, pero that stats group, I was very very passive, and I could say nakakaya, pero I could say I was kind of that pabuhat na member. I was doing the bare minimum lang. Pero reflecting back nga, no, I was able to slowly adjust, and I believe latter part ng grade 11 and yung grade 12 talaga, I was very very like all out na. Like we need to be responsible rin kasi like ako mismo, diba, like why am I sharing this kung nakakahiya nga? Kasi unable to grow, unable to learn, we need to accept and to we need to recognize our mistakes, our mga kahinaan natin. We need to accept those in order to face them, fix them, and move on and become better as a person. Yeah, yun. I just needed to share that. Kasi
Yes.
it's not just me. Marami naman dyan, diba, yung mga school, sobrang chill, sobrang positive, pero pag ng college talagang real deal na kasi this is not of our career development. So yeah, yun lang. That's why I think I needed to share that. Yeah.
Yeah, going back yung to the chemistry, I agree. Kasi parang, di ba, if you have the chemistry with the group, parang you know na how to deal with each other. Tapos yung parang, alam mo yung, hindi na, even if hindi kayo magsalita or hindi kayo mag-usap, parang you read each other's minds na. Tapos for
Yeah.
example, pag reporting, pag nafe-feel nyo na yung isa't isa na parang hindi niya na kaya, sasaluhin mo
Yeah.
na.
Pwede mo na
Parang,
sumalo, yeah.
oo.
Ganun.
You
Like,
know,
let's say, parang na mental block, ganyan, nakita mo na
yeah.
yung signal, is you can step up, parang free-flowing pa rin, diba? It's still very natural.
Yeah.
Hindi yung pag walang chemistry na hindi mo alam na nagka-mental block na pala, biglang may awkward silence, biglang may, uy, ikaw na, kibo na, ganyan na.
Yeah.
Kasi pag may chemistry ka, you know na when you need to step up eh. So to just like continue the free flow of thoughts sa pag-present. Yeah.
Yeah, tsaka magaling na kayo magbatuhan pag may chemistry na kayo, pag may connection
Yeah.
na kayo as a group. Yeah, nakakamiss talaga yung gano'n, yung you really have that solid, ang hirap kasi,
Nakakamiss mag-build ng chemistry
yeah,
pag in real life.
ang
Pero
ang
nakakamiss na
hirap mag-build ng gano'n sa
pag
online.
online. Yeah. Pero there are still, I was still able to build up those chemistry with some of my groupmates. Pero yun nga, mas easy talaga pag in real life.
Yeah, solid.
Diba, may inaral tayo back then yung different factors or different parts ba yun of delivering a message, 'di ba? May
Yeah.
tayo. So
Oo.
this would be the quote unquote noise being an online setting, no. So
Mm.
I believe we could feeling ko it's just a matter of being able to adapt to the environment. So I think siguro no, or maybe by the end of this year we would all be able to to properly adjust and be able to freely and have this natural flow of being able to create chemistries with people ganun. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree na parang I agree dun sa sinabi mo kasi 'di ba, when when we already know each other and 'pag na-form na talaga natin yung ibang bond na yon or yung connection na yun with other people, sobrang it would just go naturally. Parang
Yeah.
magfo-form na naturally yung chemistry mo with other people, 'di ba? Yeah, so speaking of naman, since you've talked about groupmates, nagkaroon ka ba ng groupmate na pabuhat or freeloader?
Of course, di natin maiiwasan yan, right?
Hindi ata nawawala yan. Every group work, laging
Yeah.
there's always one.
Actually, I remember talaga. This is so funny. This is so funny. Pero I remember back in term one, right? Kapag may group work, kasi diba block pa yon. So
Oo.
as I mentioned nga, I have this small group of friends. Tatlo kami.
Mm.
So every time may group work, mag-shot agad kami sa group chat namin. Sino gusto mo kunin? Sino gusto kunin? Let's get her, let's get him, let's get her, let's get him.
Mm.
Parang kasi we would want to form the proper group kasi diba? Actually ako kasi, I'm very chill naman. Pero some of my friends kasi sa tatlo kami na yun, very very sensitive sa personally, I have no problem sa at times,
Mm.
of course, not always, to buhat people. Kasi ako
Mm.
minsan buhat rin ako. Pero syempre, ayoko naman parating pabuhat kasi mali na yun abusado na yun. Sometimes it would be okay to buhat people because yun nga, it's also to help them. Pero yun nga, so my groupmate ako na very, very, very against that. So we were, as every group work talaga, we would get the most responsible people at hand. Pero my one time, um, ito yung kinakwento ko sa friends ko always. Like, kasi this was very, very, parang something that really taught me so much lesson. So, meron kami isang group work, right? Yung sa final and sa LC Philic ba yun? LC Philia? LC Philic?
Really wala pa.
Philia, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So, LC Philia natin, no? Di ba we were asked to form a group for our final presentation for our mismo.
Yes, oo.
Yeah, yun, diba? So, as far as I remember, I was, kasi, the assistant manager for that. And sinadya ko kumuha ng dalawang quote-unquote freeloader. Kasi, for me, I believe there are two kinds of freeloaders. Number one is yung talagang freeloader, irresponsible student. And number two is someone that's not given the chance lang. They would want to step up, pero they are not given the chance to do so because medyo passive sila or medyo shy sila or they have different priorities na they would want to be responsible naman pero they're not just given the proper chance to do so. So kasi I've been observing these two people and I got them sa group namin. Eh yun nga, 'di ba? So kasi the way I managed this group was very, very different. First meeting namin, I asked them what are their strengths and weaknesses because the reason that I did that is because we wanted to form a subgroup within the group. Kasi diba ang problem, kasi for the past few group works, nakita kong problem is that schedule, diba? Yung ibang tao sinasabi freeloader ka kasi schedule mo hindi pumatak sa that's you weren't able to do your job. Pero yung reason talaga doon is for schedule. So I wanted to address that problem. So I made subgroups within the group and I remember we were tasked to read a whole research paper of around 150 pages ata. And we also divided that. We were like divided into like 30 pages ata, 30 plus, ganyan, within sa subgroups. Tapos, diniscuss namin per group para ma-form namin yung whole idea of the paper. After that, I asked them to work within their schedule of tatlo sila. Kasi when you are in a smaller group, diba, mas easy ma-manage yung common time and common schedule. So yun nga, we would just give, my manager and I would just give proper deadlines within the group para maging on time tayo, ganun. And I remember talaga, kasi for me, when you manage people, it's not just about the output. You also have to manage their feelings, yung kalagayan nila, how yung well-being nila properly. Kasi 'di ba nga in corporate settings, right? When you're a manager, you don't just look at the outputs nga nila mismo. You don't just look at their data, you don't just look at their sales, diba? You also, diba, pag may problem, kinakausap mo, kamusta ka naman? Would you want to have lunch with me? Let's talk about your problem, diba? So for me, I also do the same, no? So kasi I remember he taught us something about different kinds of personalities of people, different kinds of managers, different kinds of employees. So I took that into heart, no? And I actually applied it sa group work. I saw there are people na kailangan mo i-praise para magtrabaho. There are people na kailangan mo i-one-on-one. There are people na kailangan mo i-chill lang. Yung mga shy people, just let them go with, just let them run at their own pace. So yun nga, I was able to manage them properly. My manager and I were able to address their problems. And as far as I can remember, we may not have gotten the best grade that we could. We might not have in the highest grade that we could sa group na yon. Pero each and everyone was able to get something more valuable, and that's actually life lessons. They were able to learn that what are their limits, what are their strengths, and what are their weaknesses. They were able to meet people that would have the same strengths and weaknesses with them, and they were able to really yun nga, manage themselves mismo. And I believe that's the most important thing talaga in school. It's not about learning about the lessons. Of course, that comes rin kasi we need to be able to be knowledgeable of our field, our respective professional fields, no? Pero as for me, I really, really value experience and being able to really learn yung mga street smart skills, life skills, and communication skills that we will be able to really apply in our professional careers. Yun.
I agree. Mukhang mag-iisip ng mga naging kagrupo ni Barron. Ay, ako ba yung dalawa na yun? Time to assess yourselves, guys.
Oh, actually, share lang rin, no? Just to share, yung dalawang quote-unquote tawag lang freeloader na yon, they were able to contribute the most
O,
sa group.
diba? O, diba?
Iba dyan, they were able to contribute the most and the most valuable and the most yung pinaka-important na contribution sa group work na yun. I really commend them with that, and I would like to I think they know who they are now, because as far as I remember, we also tackled that sa last meeting namin. So, and I know that alam ko naman na minsan iba priorities ninyo. Of course, you also need to be responsible. Pero I believe that you guys are not just freeloaders. You are just misunderstood or mismanaged by people. Yun.
Feeling ko din yun din kasi sometimes yung problem sa mga group work. Sometimes the groups are really too big. Na parang
Yeah.
not everyone is given a chance to prove themselves or to show
Yeah.
what their potentials are. Kasi sometimes, for example, a group of, let's say, 8 to 10 people is just too much talaga.
Sa 8 to 10 people na yun, more or less, minsan 4 to 5 lang rin gumagawa. Kasi mahirap sa sobrang konti ng task. If you don't subgroup, syempre yung mga tao, diba, isipin nila, ako lang gagawa nito, ako lang gagawa nito. Iba dyan, hindi nakaka-step up. Hindi mo talaga sila freeloader. They're not just given the chance.
Yeah, I agree. Kasi honestly, ako din, meron din akong parang, hindi naman ako freeloader ng term 1.
Yeah.
Pero parang I feel like there's occasions na parang I feel like I could have
Same.
stepped up more or I could have given more. Na
Same.
parang since there were just limited tasks or limited things to do, parang it just limited what I would do to the group. Na parang onti lang na-contribute ko kasi onti lang din naman. Yeah.
And actually, yun nga.
Parang dinidepend ko lang yung sarili ko sa pagiging freeloader.
Circling to that idea nga, minsan, kasi pag properly na manage yung jobs and tasks, minsan isipin natin, parang ang konti na nagawa ko.
Oo.
But I feel so guilty. Pero the fact nga, na konti yung feeling mo, konti na nagawa mo, pero everyone was able to contribute, that means that effective ang or manager nyo. Because yun nga, things doesn't need to be hard or doesn't need to be difficult or doesn't need to be mabigat to say that it works. Kasi if you properly managing and delegate your task, it shouldn't be that bigat. It shouldn't be that hard. So yun lang. Quick lang.
I agree. Kasi parang sometimes, 'di ba, there are people naman na they're not really freeloaders, 'di ba? It's just they do their stuff pero they do subpar, below minimum. Yeah,
pero of
diba?
course, no, let's not glorify yung mga totoong freeloader. Meron talaga totoong freeloader.
Yeah, meron.
Yung iba, passive talaga na sabi nila, I won't do this na lang para pag late na may step up instead of me, ganyan.
Yeah.
let's not glorify let's not romanticize the idea of
Mm.
hindi lahat ng freeloader kasi meron talagang freeloader na freeloader.
Oo. May iba talaga yung intention talaga na maging freeloader. Kasi they know na there are other people who are there are people din kasi na parang ay alam nila na someone would step up and
Yeah.
someone better would do the work for
Yeah.
them kaya hindi nila ginagawa. There are people din na alam nila na parang there are people who will fix the work for them kaya they
Yeah.
just do subpar. And
Yeah.
that's really annoying. Na
It's
parang
really
mm,
irresponsible. Yeah.
na parang gagawa ka ng research or gagawa ka ng mag-a-add ka ng part mo tapos parang parang wala pang 5/10 yung effort.
Oo.
God.
Okay naman 5/10, wala pang effort. Kung hindi, it's irrelevant for the topic. Yung iba,
Oo.
mema lang, mema lagay lang, mema gawa lang, may masabi lang, may contribution ako. Maski wala,
Mm.
irrelevant sa group, di ba? Pero
OMG.
I haven't like,
Mm.
hindi ko pa na-experience. May mga nagkakwento sa akin na may nagganyan na silang groupmates. Yeah.
Actually, recently meron ako. Parang, this was for our subject. Hindi ko na i-mention kasi current pa siya.
Of course.
Pero, we were doing this research for a report. Lahat naman ng subjects ko may report. So, wag kayong mag-guilty people. Pero, eto kasi taon to, alam mo yung kinopy-paste niya lang, yun nasa
Oh my God.
Wikipedia. Hindi naman siya yung report mismo.
Yeah.
Parang yung research for the report.
Yeah.
Pero, my gosh, but
Pinapahamak niya pa yung group niyo, pwede pa kayo
Wikipedia yung source? Wikipedia? Where do you get
lahat ng
Wikipedia?
source.
Of all sources you
Source
can
Wikipedia
look
talaga.
for, Wikipedia? Legit? Legit ka dyan? Pero okay lang naman mag-Wikipedia ka, pero ang gawin mo, parang you get yung reference section, pumunta ka dun sa
Yeah.
legit source.
Yeah.
But don't go for the Wikipedia page.
And just so everyone, kasi I'm not sure naman, dapat lahat tayo by college right now, alam na natin. Pero sa mga hindi nakakalam, Wikipedia kasi, anyone can edit it. Diba?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm not, don't quote on me. Pero as far as I know, Wikipedia is not a reliable sources because anyone from anywhere in the world could edit it. Since we're also talking about yung mga freeloader, diba? Kasi I've read something in DLC Freedom Wall. Diba? Yung may two kinds of annoying sa groupmates. Yung mga freeloader and yung may mga lahat tinatapos in one day. Tapos sabi nila freeloader yung iba dahil tinapos na niya in one day. Are you familiar with that?
Ay, yeah. Oo. Pero ano din kasi, parang, ano bang thoughts mo doon?
Ako personally, thought ko doon is proper communication. Doon tayo nagwala, proper communication. Kasi if you would want to finish some iba-iba priorities, kaya ako personally, kapag group work, tinatapos ko agad. Pero pag personal homeworks ko, I wait sa respective time na kaya ko gawin yung work. Pero kasi I've had some groupmates na like that, no. Pero for me kasi proper communication dapat. We understand that you would want to finish your group work agad-agad kasi you have many other works pa. Pero you have to communicate with your members. Kasi how will they be able to contribute if yung binigay mo na oras is only sa'yo lang siya, it only works for you and does not work for the common good of the people, diba? Of God, of the mate. Yun yung thought ko doon.
So, kamusta naman yung term 2 mo ngayon?
Okay, so term 2 ko right now. Right now, actually, I'm kind of over sa what do you call this? Nung term break natin. So, right now, I'm working very, very slow pa yung pace ko, both in my business stuff and in my acad rin. So, right now, I need to, after this Holy Week, I need to really step up again, go back and track. Kasi, actually, yung first week naman ng term 2, I was able to do all my homeworks agad pag binigay ako agad. But right now, I'm kind of starting to procrastinate ulit, which is really, really bad. Kasi guys, if you start to procrastinate, those tasks will start to pile up and pile up and pile up. And to the point that you will feel so tired and so piga na. Tapos magreklamo kayo na sabi nyo, lahat binibigay, grabe, walang pakialam yung mga prof sa inyo sa mental health. Minsan kasi, not everyone not every prof mabait, pero tayo mismo yung responsible for that.
Yeah.
We procrastinate so much that we get to pile up our task and tayo mo. That's on us. We need to be responsible of that kasi ako personally minsan na feel ko yun. Kaya right now I'm trying to like do every task that's given up ahead of time. Kasi yun nga,
Mm.
diba? It's better to be early than to
Yeah.
be late. Yun.
Actually, okay din yung meron tayong break ngayon na kahit 3 days lang eh. Kasi
Actually,
kahit ako, for
kulang eh.
example,
Yeah.
like ako, ang halaki na ng backlogs ko sa homework.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, week 1 and week 2 ko din, same as you, na nagawa ko na rin agad. Pero yung week 3 came, parang feeling ko, oh my, kaya,
Napagod
kaya
agad.
to, kaya to. Ayun, habol ako ng week 4, ang daming backlogs. Alam mo nung week 4 ba ngayon? Week 3? Ay, week 5
Week 5.
na.
Week 6 ata tong break eh.
Alam mo, hindi ko na alam kung anong weeks.
I'm not sure, pero parang week 7 pag Monday. Yeah.
Okay. Nung week 4, as in, sobra from Monday to Thursday,
Same,
puro
same, same.
backlogs yung hinahabol ko. Sabi ko, ba't hindi ko to ginawa last week? Anong
Yeah,
ginagawa ko
diba?
the week before? Parang,
Tapos yung kasi I feel like minsan that the reason why we're like being tinatamad tayo is because when we have an upcoming break, like mindset natin parang okay, we will be having our break now, term break o kaya Holy Week break ganon. Kasi sa totoo lang nakakapagod. So sana sa mga ibang prof dyan, please. Hindi naman lahat, pero sana please, medyo gaan na naman. Kasi like, diba, for me talaga, like, I don't know, this Holy Week break was so bitin. Ibang Monday nag-start tayo ng Wednesday.
oo.
Day. It was so bitin. Tapos like, nga, yung sister ko, hanggang hanggang April 9 pa yung nila, yung whole week break nila. That's so tas tayo 6 lang. So,
Oh
hindi
my
mas
gosh.
pero sana naman like minsan give importance to our mental health. Kasi yun nga 'di ba, like kagaya sabi ko kanina medyo self-contradict. Nagpo-pile up yung work dahil sa natin procrastination. Pero hindi man lahat, there are also some people that have difficulties lalo na this pandemic, this trying times, right? So sana naman like of course proper rest yun.
As you were saying, I agree na parang sometimes tayo lang talaga nagtatambak sa mga selves natin. Tapos,
Yeah.
honestly, Holy Week break, parang feeling ko wala din ako nagawa. Pumasok ako ng Holy Week break, yung backlogs ko ang dami. Ngayon, patapos na yung Holy Week break, wala pa rin.
Ako, wala pa ako na-start sa backlog ng sa Holy Week break. Like, right now ako pa lang, later after this podcast. Tsaka ako gagawin yung mga backlog ko. Kasi,
Oo.
focus ko, ginawa kong backlogs ko was on my business backlogs, not on my ACADS backlog. Yun.
Mm-mm.
Gawa ko
Ako,
kanina.
mm-mm.
And for the past few days.
Ako din same. Sa podcast ko din yung backlogs na hinahabol ko kasi sabi ko magre-release ako ng video ng Monday. Ngayon lang ako nag-start. Let's go. Hi. Since na-mention mo kanina at the very, very start, yung enlistment, gusto ko i-share mo yung, gusto ko pag-usapan natin yung enlistment,
Oh my God.
experiences natin. Lalo na yung kay Baron,
Bloody. Grabe.
sobrang madugo yung kay Baron. How
Actually
was your
ako,
enlistment?
medyo kasalanan ko eh. Kasi, diba, what do you call this? I'm dual major, right? Dual. So, ahead kami dapat mag-enlist, right? Eve enlistment namin was 9 a.m. Tapos,
Oo.
iba 3 p.m. o 2 p.m. ba yun?
Oo, 3 p.m. yung sa amin.
Yeah. The thing is, kala ko kaya na magsabay-sabay kami ng friends ko mag-enlist. Ako lang yung dual degree. So, sumabay ako sa oras nila. Pagdating ng oras nila, wala na ako na-enlist. Wala na ako. So, that's on me. My fault.
Yeah.
Kasi dapat nag-enlist na ako prior pa. Kasi, pero I wasn't aware of that. So, yun nga, no? Tapos yung pala, actually kasi, ito rin hindi ko alam. Nung nag-pre-enlist ako ng term 1, I thought, pa-follow lang yung flowchart. Pero, dahil nga rin, actually, dapat rin pa-follow ko yung flowchart sa enlistment. Pero dahil nga sa kulang ng subjects, I wasn't able to follow it. I was only to get, available para makaabot ng units, no? So, actually, I saw a poster sa Freedom Wall, mga upperclassmen na nagreklamo daw yung mga 120 di nagpe-pre-enlist. I'm actually not aware na may mga di pala nagpe-pre-enlist kasi I believe sa block namin lahat kami talagang pina-pre-enlist. Like, it was told to us na requirement yun. So, I'm not sure but yung mga iba hindi nag-pre-enlist. Pero yun nga, no, naubusan kami ng ng slots, grabe. Like, madugo. Pag-check mo ng isang subject, lahat, no available slots talaga. So, natakot actually kami. We were like, paano yan? So, paano kung hindi kami maka-minimum na units? So, what will happen? So, hindi kami makaka-enroll, ganun. It was very, very madugo. And I believe dapat, for me, it's a matter of a better system for the enlist, na dapat ayusin ng ng admin ng
Mm.
result.
Naalala ko din yung sa amin nun, our experience nun was like, alam mo yon kailan man nag-start yung enlistment? Wednesday? Tama ba? Or Thursday?
I
Hindi,
forgot I
Tuesday.
forgot.
As in, Monday pa lang, nag-add to cart na kami. Alam mo, sabi ko pa naman nung Monday, OMG, ito yung pinakamasayang add to cart. Yung fun na add to cart ka lang, ganyan, ganyan. Tapos biglang, pagkaabot ng Thursday, OMG.
Lahat
Mas, mas,
unavailable.
mas gusto ko na lang yung Lazada na add to cart. At least yun, mas kaya pa. Tas,
I remember. Diba, add to cart. I remember actually prior, the week before pa,
mm,
tatlong calls kami ng friends ko kasi
mm,
schedule namin. Sabi, okay, get this subject at this time kasi ito magandang slot, ito magandang prof.
mm.
Tapos yun pala, walang kwenta yung pinag-usapan na add to cart and ganyan. Kasi nga, makukuha mo lang kung ano available sa'yo. Diba?
Yeah, oo.
Yeah.
Tas I remember, as in, kami nung friend ko, yung ginagawa namin as in, halos every night kami, for example, first night, okay, naubos lahat ng in-add to cart namin. Second night, add to cart ulit. Second day,
Naubos
add
na
to cart ulit.
naman.
Pagkagabi, naubos ulit. Hanggang sa, ayun, wala na. Tas alam mo ba, ito yung funny story. I dropped like almost 30 classes.
30 classes?
Yeah, kasi I kept switching every time there's a new one that entered. So, ang dami ko kasi nakuha ng mga subjects. Tapos parang pagkabasa ko sa feedback is
Yeah. Madugo yung feedback.
oo,
Yun ang sabi natin, madugo yung feedback.
yeah. Tapos, so ayun, nung may nag-open na ibang classes, I took I replaced. As in, I kept replacing and replacing stuff. As in, pagkatingin ko nung kasi 'di ba they sent a message na parang about dropping, na parang if
Yeah.
you drop, you send a form, ganun,
Letter.
ganun. Sabi ko
Yeah.
pa naman, ala, does this mean I need to submit like 20 plus forms?
Buti pala ngayon hindi na sa
Buti
Buti sa atin hindi
hindi
na.
na.
Yeah.
Oo.
Maayos na.
Yeah.
I believe term 3 lang ata yun ba? Tama ba? Term 3 lang yung kailangan mag-submit.
I think so. Hindi ko sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grabe talaga. Kasi as in, I made sure talaga na parang, kasi every time naman may nag-o-open naman na bagong class. So,
Yeah.
I'm really thankful din sa mga nakuha ko. In fair, kahit madugo yung process, in the end naman, okay naman yung end result.
Buti naman. Yeah.
How about you? Were you, happy with the end result?
Ako, I could not say happy, but I'm satisfied. Pwede na. Pwede na. I'm lucky enough to be able to get these subjects and these profs kaysa sa iba or, di ba? That would be
Ay,
better na meron pa rin. Kasi, actually, nahirapan ako was, I got two, di ba nakwento ko sa'yo, I got E's at the same term. So that's kind of, di ba? Kasi I got Geftwell and GE Dance. And as you all know, GE Dance, prerequisite niya si Geftwell. So yung mga ko sa GE Dance si Geftwell, minsan, same lang or nag-intersect. And ang problema dyan, was na 7:30 classes.
oh my gosh.
So,
Pero was it the same day or hindi naman?
no, iba naman. I got Geftwell at Monday 7:30 and I got GE Dance at Thursday 7:30. So si Geftwell,
Aga.
si GE Dance, I'm so sorry, miss. I'm really so sorry. I'm trying my best if you ever watch this or hear this. I'm really trying my best. Naka-absent ako ng 2 meeting. Hindi ako nagising. Kasi ang hirap talaga. Sobrang sira ng sleep schedule ko right now. Pero yun nga, I need to bow it out. Of course, diba? We need to mga videos, kanyan. Pero yun nga, sa iba, sa future or sa mga nakikinig, I don't suggest getting 2 Ps at the same time. Hindi siya nakakapagod physically eh. Nakakapagod siya mentally dahil gigising ka, yung kala mong isipin na Thursday na last class day na of the week. Pero gigising ka pa ng 7:30. Yun. It's kind of mahirap.
Nakakapagod talaga yung magkaroon ka ng 7:30 na class. So
Yeah.
so tough. So, yun nga, how do you deal with the 7:30 na mga classes?
Actually, hirap talaga ako eh kasi these days I sleep at around pag classes days, I sleep at around 12 to 1 a.m. Tapos magigising ako pag 7:30 class, magigising ako 6 a.m. So that's just 5 hours of sleep. Which is plenty enough for some people pero sa akin kulang 'yon. So nagigising ako 6 a.m., mag-cook ako breakfast ko, ganyan, get ready for class, ganyan. Pero yung mahirap kasi doon, after yung class, pagod na ako, antok na ako. Dapat kasi after class, after 9:30, ang next class ko kasi 12:45. Dapat
Mm.
gagawa ko ibang homework, gagawa ko ibang business work ko, business stuff ko,
Mm.
ganyan. Sa nakakatulog ako, tapos nagigising ako saktong just before 12:45 rin. So, the way I cope up with it, dami kong alarm, grabe. May alarm ako sa phone ko, may alarm ako sa Google Now ko, ganyan. Ang ingay ng room ko every time. Tapos minsan di pa ako nagigising talaga.
Oh
Nagpapagising,
my.
hirap gumising. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes lalo na 'pag kunwari malaki yung break between the subjects, parang ang hirap 'pag gano'n.
Ang hirap.
Mas okey talaga yung dire-diretso yung classes.
Yeah, minsan na. Pero hindi pa natin. Depende. Like kasi may yung class ko na science and math, dire-diretso. Buti na lang, both of my profs are good naman. Like, both of my prof are not that heavy. Kasi,
Mm.
si guest talk ko, per galing ng teacher. So, super considerate niya, sobrang galing niya magturo. Tapos, ano na ka naman, sa prof ko naman sa GMAT, some people say that mahirap madugo yung subject niya. Pero for me kasi, if you just do your job ahead of time, like, kasi binibigay yung mga video classes a week prior. So ginagawa ko kasi every Thursday, tinatapos ko na yung video and yung test para pag mag-class na siya, makikinig na lang ako and kung may hindi ako alam, and di na ako mag-notes kasi I take up notes while sa asynchronous videos niya. So pagdating ng class mismo, I just listen, kung may di ako naintindihan, I just write that down. Medyo mas chill na in a way, pero mahirap pa rin. Kasi madaming lesson and medyo fast-paced. Pero attainable siya, buti na lang. Nakaka-drain siya minsan magkasunod kasi from 11 to 2:15, tuloy-tuloy science and math. So yun.
Oo,
Pero
ang hirap na maging magkasunod ng science and math.
yeah,
Kasi ako yung science ko Tuesday ng first sub, ta's ang math ko last sub ng Monday. So, at least malayo naman siya.
layo-layo naman.
Yeah, and okey talaga yung math na last subject in a day. Ang hirap talaga ng may kasunod pa yung math. Yun talaga tip sa mga
Actually ako rin, last subject ko rin yung math sa day. Last
as
subject.
in yun talaga siguro tip sa mga sa subject, magte-take ng subjects or don't put a class after math.
Yeah.
It's really
And
hard.
siguro rin kung morning person or night
Mm.
person, get the schedule that matches that. Kasi
Yeah.
you really need all your brain cells
Mm.
na yun. Kasi of course, diba, you would not want to drift off habang nagdi-discuss kasi sobrang
Yeah.
dami miss. Yeah.
Ang hirap talaga. So you really need to choose a time na very awake ka and
Yeah.
very on the zone ka talaga. Baron, as a creative, how is it right now during the pandemic naman? Especially with your
Actually,
business and all
yeah.
that.
This pandemic, no, actually, kasi just to give you guys an overview, I'm actually a freelance and hobbyist photographer, videographer, no. So I really love my passion. I started this back in grade 10 pa. I met a guy named Gerald Cujacinto, if you guys know him. He's a really, really great artist and doon ako natuto initially. Actually, yung first medyo same pa yung style ko kasi I didn't know where to refer to what is proper and what is good sa art ko, no. So pero through time I was able to develop my own style, no. And in this pandemic, no, it's actually quite challenging kasi as a videographer muna kasi videographer main ko eh. As a videographer, we really need clients outside. Like I shoot events, I shoot real estate, commercials, advertisements, and yun nga, I really need clients from outside. So, dahil sa pandemic na to, medyo stop operation ako. Ginawa ko lang siyang hobby. Actually, sad thing is that prior the pandemic, I actually just upgraded my gear and it costed me a lot. Pero, ang nangyari is, naging negative yung ROI ko sa equipment ko kasi I wasn't able to use it and nagde-depreciate na siya monthly. Pero buti na lang, I still found what do you call this? I still found value to it. Kasi of course, not everything's about money. It's about growth as an artist rin, no? So it's actually quite challenging. I still get some projects naman of I mainly do real estate kasi right now since may social distance. So it's quite challenging. Pero I'm still able to divert naman. So right now kasi I own this company called Super Tape Digitization. I actually convert these VHS tapes.
Oh, wow.
Itong VHS tape. So, if you guys have like mga wedding videos ng parents nyo, mga childhood videos nyo, I could digitize them. Kasi diba, video yung main focus ko, right? So, I was able to work around it. So, right now, nga tayo, since pandemic tayo, um, everyone's not going out, so delikado rin ako mag-shoot outside. I found a new kung saan ako nag-divert into right now, which is converting analog tapes. So yun, as a creative, you also need to, di ba, as creatives, we are creative people. That's not just on our work, but also in our strategies, in our thinking, no? So what could we, ano yung mga in right now? Kasi right now, di ba, iba nag-spring cleaning. So that's where digitizing analog tapes comes in. Yun. So that's how I was able to cope up with my as a creative.
How do you balance it naman? Especially na syempre medyo hectic din yung online classes, especially na parang ang daming synchronous sessions, ang daming pinapagawa. So, how do you balance it with whatever you're doing sa business mo?
Actually funny kasi I wake up at around, depende sa day, pero pag umaga, I wake up at around 6 a.m. na or 6:30 a.m. Starting that, buong araw na ako nagko-convert. Habang nagka-class ako, nagko-convert rin ako. Kaya minsan nag-off ako camera sa class, tapos bigla babalik lang ako. Or like, minsan may iba akong ginagawa because I continuously digitize clients' tapes while doing classes. So, it's actually quite challenging minsan, no? Kasi actually, I digitize videos, I digitize analog tapes 14 to 18 hours a day. Ganun kagrabe. Like, kaya ako late natutulog rin kasi tuloy-tuloy everyday na nagko-convert. So it's quite challenging, but it's also really time management. Kasi as far as I remember, I started this business kasi back in June 17, 2020. 1 year na siya. Back then, sobrang tali ako. Di ako maka-adjust, di ako maka-work masyado other than doing these conversions. Pero I learned my way naman around the business. I was able to really manage my time properly na I'm able to do other work while also working at this. So it's all about time management na talaga. And knowing your priorities, of course. We need to be responsible pa rin, students. Kasi like what people say, diba? When you're a student leader, a student athlete, let's say a student businessman, ganyan, we are a student first before we are the other. So we need to be responsible as students before we are responsible to do the other. Yun.
Yes, I agree talaga.
Kaya
So,
as you said nga, diba? Wait, sorry. As you said nga,
oo.
that's why we do it as a side.
Mm.
Yung main mo. Hindi siya yung gitna mo. Ang gitna mo kung what you are right now as student.
Yeah.
Ang side mo is your passion, your job. Depende actually kasi iba kailangan unahin yung job kasi unable to study, they need to earn money, right?
Yep.
In just priorities, we also need to really kasi in life, step by step yan lahat. At this stage of time, we are students. At next stage, we are professionals. At next stage, we are ganyan. We just need to do things step by step, one step at a time. Ganun.
Yeah, I agree. So, how about your environment naman? How do you handle yung environment? Especially now na parang ang hirap, 'di ba? Kasi parang you're just in the same room as your bed while you're in class. So parang there's a tendency na parang sometimes higa ka na lang during classes or whatsoever, 'di ba?
Yeah. Actually nga, no, that's something that I myself am currently personally facing right now. Yung separation of work
Mm.
and rest. Kasi actually, I really suggest if kaya, since not everyone has the resources naman, pero if kaya, it's better to really separate your ACADS environment from your rest. And like, if may sala kayo, if may dining kayo, if may office kayo, doon lang kayo mag-study and you only go to your room if you would want to rest. Kasi ang nangyayari sa akin right now is that when you are studying or when you are working, nasa pagod ka, ka sa kama mo minsan, tapos tiyatamad ka na again, like nawawala yung flow mo, diba? Nawawala yung parang yung what do you call this? I forgot the term pero yung flow mo to work, nawawala yung ano mo, nawawala yung flow mo in a way na parang yun, nagiging unproductive ka, you start to procrastinate again, or the other way around naman, when you are resting, you can't rest properly kasi you kept thinking, wait, I have to be productive, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do this right now, tomorrow, ganyan. Kasi the point of resting is to actually rest your mind. Stop thinking for a bit, just do what you would want to relax your body, relax your mind, to just chill ka lang, to breathe in and breathe out. Pero that's actually what also contributes for me to having a bad mental health and having actually a bad physical health nga. the point that we are unable to rest properly because we are unable to separate our ACADS, our work, and our rest times. Yun. So my suggestion is really, if you have the resources or you have the space, try to separate both rest and work environment. Yun.
Wait lang, i-adjust ko lang yung yung light kasi medyo masakit
Go
dito
lang,
sa
go lang.
mata.
I'm also gonna drink water in.
Yeah, yun nga din, I agree na parang we need to separate work and work ACADS and your our personal lives
Rest.
kasi parang sometimes nag-blur na yung line between the three nang especially now with the pandemic na everything we do na sa bahay na. So parang lahat nung bigat nung ACADS and nung work minsan nadadala na natin sa bahay. Nag-aano na nag-ano na sila. Kumbaga sa Venn diagram, nag-meet na sila in the middle.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's going to be recipe for chaos.
And kasi diba, as, I'm not sure if for everyone, pero kasi I remember some of my friends noon, sinasabi nila like, the reason why they are so good rin in ACADS or what is because they try to make ACADS their escape from stress. Yung iba, kaya from house stuff. Kasi diba, there was a separation talaga with ACADS and school and I don't know, home and rest. Kasi right now though sa online classes, napagsama talaga yung environment into one, which created this, yung sabi mo na para sa kumbaga sa Venn diagram, na yung gitna, yung commonalities, which is really the recipe for disaster. Dahil nga if I remember kasi a quote or I read from a book, pero this is for business, pero I guess this could also be pertain to this or to be mirrored to this. Something that lacks management from the start would result to chaos if we are not able to manage our time properly. Yung separation talaga ng work and rest. It's really a recipe for disaster, lalo na for our mental health, for our performance mismo and such.
I agree kasi parang if hindi mo din kayang i-balance, magsa-suffer din siya kasi like if you have problems in your personal life, yung madadala mo siya with your work and madadala mo siya in your ACADS na mas lalo kang mahihila pababa. It will pull you down if you cannot manage it well and you cannot balance it, diba? Yan. So, basically, final words, sige for final words na lang din. Ano yung advice natin for fellow Frosh students or freshmen and sa mga siguro papasok pa lang sa college, especially next school year na most likely online pa rin naman.
Yeah. So, some advices. Maybe advice number one, no, especially for adjusting to the college environment. Don't be afraid to speak out. Don't be afraid to speak up, and let us not kasi diba, I'm sorry if may matamaan, pero ibang kasi sinasabi mga 120 or mga frosh pabibo. Kasi diba yun at ito pala masanay kayo na pag frosh kayo ang yung sinisisi ng buong ng buong student body, like dahil sa internet, dahil sa frosh yan. Yung mga frosh yan, mga 120 mga 121 yan sa future, ganyan. Let's say late enlistment, mga frosh yan. Don't take it to heart. That's just like yung parang for fun lang na ginagawa ng here sa Lasal, like the culture here. I don't know, pwede ba ni-share?
Ha?
Pero pwede ba ni-share sa podcast? Pero it's not
siguro
naman. Yeah, don't take it to heart. We just still know that upperclassmen cares for each other naman. Hindi naman siya tayo pitfall for CC, galit sila sa atin. It's just like something naging culture lang nila. Like yung 119 noon, nung frosh sila inaaway, 118 sila inaaway, 117, and so on and so forth. So yun, number one. And number two nga, going back sa adjusting to the college life now, don't be afraid to step up. Don't be afraid to really give out the best that you can in classes. And also, don't forget to take care of your mental health. That is number one. And ngayon, diba, right now, ang naging craze ngayon and naging fuzz ngayon sa society natin is that overworking and overstress, grabe productivity. That's already like if you are parang kung gaano kalaki yung eye bags mo sa kaka-work, sa kaka-being productive, you are congratulated. Let's not romanticize the overworking right now, because we all need, we are not machines. We are people, we are humans, and we need rest. So, kasi remember guys, at the end of the day, health is wealth. Kung gaano ka kapagod nagtrabaho, gaano kapagod ka nag-build up ng career mo, if maaga ka lang magkakasakit, mahihirapan sa health mo, that's all rendered useless. So let's all take care of our health. Yun. And something more practical and more direct naman. Siguro, let's say, enlistment. Don't forget to pre-enlist, guys. Really, don't forget to pre-enlist. Kasi hindi lang kayo mapapahamak, pinapahamak nyo pa yung ibang mga upper class pang nag-enroll. And sa pag-enlist rin, wag nyo, for me kasi, siguro, depende kung BS org ka. When you say BS org, yung mga focus org, don't like max your units. Like, kasi 21 yung max, right? Wag nyo isagad kaya kasi kayo may hihirapan. And kung naman kayo, kung hindi naman kayo focus in org, work on yourselves. Like, you don't always need to be productive, pero you also need to to focus on your self growth as people, and as we are young adults na tayo, diba? We need to really be more responsible. We need to be more besides responsible, like, wait, cut yun. Okay. So, young adults tayo, right? We need to be more responsible of our actions and of what our future will be. And sa mga naghihirap naman dyan, always remember this. If you are born na naghihirap, it's not your fault. But if you die na naghihirap, that's partly on yourself, on your fault, because di nga lahat nabibigyan ng equal opportunities because that's society right now. But you can do your part to improve your current status at life right now. So yun, let us take care of our self and well-being also. Yun. I'm gonna add lang pala something, guys. Going back sa sinabi ni Jacob sa rest, which I really agree on. And sabi ko, rest is different from giving up. When you say rest, ano gagawin mo, diba? Pag napagod ka tonight, what do? You sleep and you wake up the next day. When you get tired sa lessons, you rest. And that does not mean that you give up on it or you give up on your dreams. When you rest, you just give yourself time to reflect, to get back that energy, to get back that passion, and you continue going on with your goal. So you don't give up when you rest. You just break and you go on with your goal. And next one that I would want to add is, and second pala that I would like to add is that, guys, we are still young, so don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't ever be ashamed to make mistakes, because making mistakes is how we learn, and experiences make us stronger. So actually, ang advice ko nga from what I read and from ang interview na nabasa ko, that habang bata pa tayo, create as much mistakes as we could. Of course, hindi yung mistake na talagang pabaya ka. Yung mistakes na measurable. Measurable mistakes that that you would learn something from it. Like, let's say, you would want to start your business. Start right now. Today, tomorrow, start right now talaga. Because when you create mistakes, makakabangon ka pa. Because we have nothing to lose. We have absolutely nothing to lose. Pero when we start sa future, if we have a family now, we have responsibilities, we have greater responsibilities, we have everything to lose. It's better to create mistakes as we are young and learn from it. Pero importante, learn from it. Because if we create mistakes, we're just wasting time if we don't learn from it. So create measurable mistakes. And actually, may tinatawag tayong BML feedback loop. BML is actually a feedback loop that is used in businesses and startup companies. So basically, I'm gonna tackle it very short. Don't worry, guys. So you build, measure, and learn siya. So when you create mistakes, build up what you would want to achieve. Let's say I would want to create this business. Build up ano yung mga kailangan sa business na to. You measure how you would be able to achieve that goal. And when you fail, you pivot and you learn. When you succeed, you measure it and you learn. Always build, measure, and learn from your experiences. Yun lang, guys.
Yeah, ako talaga +1 ako dun sa +1 pero times 6 type ko. +1 ako dun sa yung sa continue making mistake. Basta just don't fear making mistakes.
Yeah.
Huwag mong i-fear na hindi kang perfect na tao kasi wala talagang perfect na tao, no? Yeah, so there we have it. Thank you so much, Baron. Grabe.
Thank you rin, Chico, for having me in
Oo,
this. I really had fun.
grabe. Sobrang fun ng episode na 'to. Gusto ko lang 'to kasi nagtatawanan lang kami dito, nagkukuwentuhan tungkol sa mga ano,
Yeah.
hindi naman kami naging deep, puro mga personal experiences na talaga 'tong episode na 'to. So, thank you so much, Baron. Thank you so much. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Sir Jacob, and the
Yeah.
watchers of this.
And there we have it. Yun, are there any social media or stuff that you want to promote?
Maybe I would like to promote my upcoming relaunch of my Super Tape business nga, right? Super Tape digitization will be relaunching this April 10 to 15. And ano lang, follow nyo lang guys yung Facebook page ko, which will be published soon. And actually mag-feature rin ako on some articles, so watch out for that. Also, dahil nga super tape digitization yung business ko, right? Kung meron man kayo mga old tapes, mga wedding videos, mga childhood videos, save that, guys, kasi 20 years lang ang life ng mga analog tapes before they start to masira yung signal nila and never mo na sila ma-retrieve. So just contact me. I'm Barron Ong. Just search me anywhere on social media and just follow my page or page too. Yeah, thank you very much, Chico, for having me too.
Yeah. So there we go. That's it for today's episode. Yon. So if you're in YouTube, yeah, we're already on Apple Pod and Spotify and Anchor FM. So tune in there. Or if you're in Spotify, we're in YouTube then. So yeah, my name down below is the channel name. And don't forget to follow me in social media, the Charles Jacob on both Instagram, Twitter, and yeah, everywhere. So that's it for today's episode, guys. See you next week. Mukhang bagong student kwentuhan na naman to. So, yan. See you guys next week here at Ganito Kasi Yan Pod.